Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name's Natasha Biertz, and I'm with Target Coding, and I have Brandy Brimhall with Rapid Credentialing with me, and we have teamed up to put this presentation together to help empower your practice and give you a mini guide to chiropractic credentialing and how it can help impact and grow your practice and help not only with reimbursement, but just keeping your credentialing active and up to date and staying compliant. So what we're going to be learning today? Well, we're going to be exploring chiropractic credentialing, and we're going to be diving into the basics of credentialing, as well as going over a little bit about optimizing in-network and out-of-network decisions and being more proactive and understanding why it's important to be proactive, keeping your credentialing current and how that can impact your reimbursement, as well as all the different types of chiropractic support that we offer here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Natasha Biertz. I am the Executive Director here at Target Coding, and I head up all the credentialing solutions here at Target Coding. That's how I was able to team up with Brandy to bring some of the credentialing solutions that we now offer today. I also am the Director of HIPAA Compliance Services, and I specialize in all the HIPAA training and policy manuals that we create here for compliance. My background is a chiropractic assistant for over 4 years, and then I was a chiropractic office manager for 3 years in an office. I've been here at Target Coding for 17 years, teaching offices like you and training staff members across the United States. I started all of this prior to even working in a chiropractic office as a massage therapist. So my background is really in holistic medicine and sports massage. And then I kind of got thrown into billing and coding. But because I love to learn how things work and how things operate, I kind of fell in love with compliance and billing and coding and all of those things. So I was able to drive that passion in what I do here today with Target Coding. I also want to introduce you to Brandy, who is just an amazing powerhouse, as you can see, all her amazing credentials. And I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about herself.
Thank you. My name is Brandy Brimhall, and I have been in this industry for just over 24 years now, since 1999, so coming upon 25 years. And this entire industry has really been a passion, obsession of mine, with everything to do with coding, billing, collections, compliance, and even credentialing. And so, as you can see on the slides, I have a list of credentials that I have obtained over the years for all of the different niches within this particular field. And the one we're going to be focusing on today is going to be credentialing. We may have crossed paths before. You may have seen me come up in different magazines and articles you've read, webinars, seminars, and places like that. So certainly, definitely say hello to me if we have crossed paths, because I always love to hear from all of you. But again, as we move forward, we're really going to be focusing on the credentialing aspect of the topic that we have here today, because there's really just a lot to talk about related to credentialing. So one of the questions we commonly get is, what is credentialing and why does it really matter? And credentialing and enrollment with third-party payers is really a two-part thing. And so the credentialing aspect is really a screening process that all networks and payers put providers through, regardless really of your network status. And what they do is confirm your provider information, make sure you are who you say you are, you're located and treating patients from where you say you're treating patients from, that you don't have any legal action against you or major audits that would be of concern, because remember, these third-party payers are processing claims and considering reimbursement to you, the third party, actually the provider, in order for the procedures that you're rendering. The enrollment piece is either your in or out of network status, whichever you have requested from the third party payer. And this is where they evaluate your eligibility for different types of contracts that you would be able to be eligible to submit and access those types of benefits under your patient. So it's a longer process, roughly 120 to 180 days for approval. Definitely very important to make sure that you have your credentialing not just implemented properly, but kept up to date and submitted to your third-party payers, because this, of course, makes a difference how you submit and are reimbursed, how you communicate, and how you collect from your patients. Moving forward, we touched on this just a little bit, but what is credentialing and enrollment? I mentioned just a moment ago, it's really initially a screening process of the individual provider, because this is what helps to allow the third-party payers and networks to protect themselves also from fraud, waste, and abuse. And it's also what allows the provider to access either the patient's in or out-of-network benefits. So definitely as a provider, it's important for you to not only know the status of your individual enrollment with third-party payers, but certainly to be enrolled either out of network or in the network so that you're able to access those benefits, you're able to communicate properly with your patients, collect compliantly from your patients, and certainly not hinder any third-party billing you would be doing from your clinic. So definitely a super important process. Like I mentioned a moment ago, it's a little bit of a longer process too, 120 to 180 days average for most of our third-party payers, which makes it extra essential to get started with your credentialing and enrollment sooner than later, because third parties aren't going to backdate your approvals under most circumstances. You're going to need to really be proactive. So again, you're able to keep your records clean, communicate properly from your patients, with your patients, collect from them properly, and so forth. So definitely an important part of the foundation of your practice, be it a new provider going into business or an established provider, perhaps adding some payers or considering collecting insurances and billing insurances that maybe you hadn't before. It's important to know what types of payers you're going to be submitting to, and certainly this varies region to region, so you do want to be familiar, of course, with your region, your patient base, and understand the difference between in and out of network benefits, because that's what you're going to ultimately be eligible for billing once you make that decision and go through that credentialing and enrollment process. Certainly we can help you with that on a more granular level when we speak in a phone call. Natasha, do you have any pieces to add so far?
Yeah, I just wanted to remind people that, you know, one of the top questions we get is a lot of times people want to, when they get on a consult with us, they want guidance onto what networks that they should be in or why they should be out of network. And there's a lot of factors that go into making that decision. And Brandy and I can go over some more detailed demographic information and payer information to help educate you to make a more informed decision before you decide to go in or out of network or change your status. But I think also it's important for providers to understand what carriers are in their networks, what insurances their patients are wanting or bringing in on a regular basis, and for them to be tracking that to have a better understanding of what could help increase reimbursement in their organization or what could be decreasing reimbursement. Maybe there is a provider that, a payer that they're with that's now, not beneficial any longer. I know that that's happened with us and with Blue Cross Blue Shield, for instance, when I was a CA in California, it just became a situation where it didn't work for us any longer to be in network. Our cost was too high to take those patients on. So yeah, I think it's really, if you want to learn more about specific payers in and out of network, what would benefit you, and talk that out, then you can definitely schedule a call with us and we can dive deeper into that, because that's a rabbit hole Brandy and I could talk about for hours.
Absolutely. Every single conversation that we have regarding credentialing is really custom for that clinic, their needs and expectations, and their region. So while most of the clinics come to us with their having identified the payers and networks that they're interested in and they have questions about, we certainly can make recommendations for your region as well, your practice type, considering also your practice goals and objectives to help you make those best decisions regarding your network enrollment, again, by either in or out of the network. So moving forward, if you'd like to reach out to us, we would love to talk with you. Natasha, would you like to explain to them how to reach us?
Yeah, for sure. You can scan right here. It takes you straight to Brandy and I's calendar. Once you get to our calendar, you can click you'll see our calendar. You can click our time that would work best for you, and you'll set up a call with us. We'll have a Zoom meeting together. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. It just allows us to collaborate and share our screens and have a chat. And if there's anything specific that you want to go over prior to the call, there is an area when you're scheduling your call to put any specialized notes for us so that we're aware of what your phone call is about.
Perfect. And just a quick reminder to everyone that may have perhaps tried some of your own credentialing, maybe you reached out to a company to do your credentialing and can't find them or haven't heard from them. Extra important to know that credentialing is such a significant factor to the foundation of your practice, because again, like I've mentioned, and I really can't say it enough, this is how you communicate to your patients correctly and cleanly so that there isn't misrepresentation or misunderstanding. It's how you establish your software and your clearinghouses for billing. It's how you set up your financial documents so that you are on the same page within the clinic with your patients and you are adhering to the compliance guidelines. And obviously, it's of course how you prepare and submit your third-party claims and what you expect in coverage and reimbursement. There are so many risks and rewards with credentialing, but importantly, it's necessary to make sure that you get that on the right track as quickly as possible. And like I've mentioned a couple times already, credentialing isn't a submit your application and you're good to go type of process. It's very lengthy, very detailed, lots of important information, documents, and things like that that go along with it. So it's important to have professionals that are familiar with credentialing and that have spent their career in credentialing to make sure that that is all coming together for you as quickly as it possibly can, because it does make a difference for the health of your practice. And like we all know, not only does all of this impact your financial health of the practice, but also certainly the patient aspect of it as well. They're an indirect or a direct recipient of everything that takes place within our clinic. So you want to make sure that you're making good decisions and proactive decisions in regards to getting credentialed. And Natasha and I, just before this segment, were talking about the stories we could go on and on with in relation to credentialing, and it's really true, but really the sum of it from my perspective is just making sure that you, just like you'd have an attorney for legal, an accountant for all of your taxes and accounting, a healthcare provider for the appropriate healthcare that you're needing to seek out. The same really goes for credentialing. You want to make sure that you have a person or team that really can put this together for you and see it across the finish line as quickly, efficiently, and thoroughly as possible, because it does make a big difference for multiple different aspects of your practice. Would you have anything to add to that, Natasha?
I agree 100%, because I think the whole reason we joined forces was because we saw the need in the practices that we help on a day-to-day basis. And truly our hearts go out to you guys when you're frustrated and you're not understanding why all of a sudden you're not getting paid properly and everything was getting paid just fine, and all of a sudden checks are going to the patients when they weren't going to the patients. So there's like a multitude of things that could occur if you're not keeping up with your credentialing, or you don't have somebody to monitor that or keep up to date with that. And you know, Brandy and I, a lot of times people come to us and they're looking for help. They're looking for us to guide them and help them. And we finally said, hey, we know how to do this from square one the right way. Instead of helping people unravel a mistake or fix something, why don't we help them do stuff from the beginning correctly, or help them fix whatever is out there, or monitor what they currently have. So I think, you know, keeping your credentialing current can help you in so many ways, but like Brandy said, we could give you stories that go on and on of ways that we've helped offices with credentialing, from not understanding why all of a sudden payers aren't paying, to getting them in a network that is now driving more traffic to their practice, because you know, now they can service more teachers in their area or whatever the case might be.
Absolutely. And like Natasha has mentioned, credentialing isn't, and enrollment isn't just one and done. You're not enrolled and then off to the races for all of time. Credentialing and enrollment is something that has to be kept up to date and kept current for all of your networks and all of your payers in order to maintain the credentials. And so with that being said, we also, in addition to seeing your credentialing from start to finish, do credentialing monitoring for a good many of our clients, which is keeping track of all of your payer and network portals, making sure the required data is up to date, is current, and is attested according to those payer or network guidelines, so that you're eligible to still continue to be enrolled in those networks, that you're able to be listed as preferred provider and in the directories of those networks, and able to access the benefits either in or out of the network that you have requested and had at some point been approved to for the network. So very important to keep that in mind. It's once you get enrolled, you definitely have to keep that active, or you'll find your claims suddenly aren't being processed properly, or at least the way that you expect that they should. And it makes a difference for obviously your revenues and your patient communications, collections, and everything downstream from there. A couple of the things that we do, and Natasha, I'll have you touch on this as well, but like I mentioned, credentialing start to finish. We do monitoring to keep all of the credentials up to date for all of our clients. In addition to that, as you're going through the credentialing, because it's such a lengthy process, one of the things that we do that really is a step beyond all of the different credentialing services that we have actually had the baton passed to us from over the years.
Exactly.
Is we do send bi-monthly updates. So for every single application we have underway for your facility and your providers, twice per month you're going to receive a current time status update of every application, so you know exactly what's going on. Anytime we run into closed panels, which certainly happens with various payers across the country for your group or individual providers, we of course notify you of those closed panels, but we follow up on those networks for a full year after that to confirm when that panel may be reopening, and in the event we run into an open panel where they will accept your group and or your provider application for in-network status, we notify you and we'll submit it at that time. And so we continue to stay on top of everything, even once we find that the network panels have been closed. And of course, like I mentioned a moment ago, keeping the monitoring on task for you so you can do what you do best, which is everything that keeps the wheels turning in the clinic. Would you have anything to add to that, Natasha?
Yeah, for sure. One of the things is it's not just chiropractic credentialing that we help with. If you have offices that have multi-specialty practices, we help with that. We've credentialed nurse practitioners, physical therapists, MDs, you name it, we can help you with it. As well as we've also been successfully helping offices who are looking to add DME and go through that journey. So we have that also that we can assist you with. I think not only is the monitoring like a great thing, but the whole reason Brandy and I married and partnered up is because communication, I think, is what sets us like just apart from any other company out there. We wanted to make sure that we were nonstop communicating with you, so you knew from A to Z what's happening with your application. And we do that from the very first phone call we have with you and the first scope of work we send you to through the entire process till you finish up with us. So like Brandy said, we take you all the way to the finish line. We do all the heavy lifting. There's nothing for you to wonder about, worry about. And between all of us here, combined, we've been in the chiropractic industry for over 50 years, if you combine all of our expertise. So if you're interested, or you just have questions, or you want to learn more about credentialing or get yourself on your way, or maybe fix a couple little things, give us a call so that we can help you. Brandy and I are always available. You can scan to schedule directly, have direct access to our calendars and speak to both of us, or you can shoot us an email, give us a call. We're here to help you. We help with a myriad of things, from account receivables to billing, audit prevention, compliance, HIPAA, you name it. Under that umbrella, we're here to help you. So if you need us, feel free to reach out. Brandy, did you have any closing comments before we
I think that's
goodbye?
everything. We look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to helping you. Let us know how we can assist with your credentialing.
Thanks so much. You guys have a great day.